Let's break down DDoS attacks with a simple analogy that makes it easy to understand, even if you're not a tech expert. Imagine your favorite pizza shop running smoothly, until suddenly, 1,000 people rush in all at once, shouting nonsense and blocking the entrance so real customers can't get in to order. The shop grinds to a halt, unable to serve anyone. That's a DDoS attack in a nutshell, a digital traffic jam created on purpose to disrupt normal operations. Online, a website is just like that shop, running on a server with limited resources and capacity to handle visitors. During a DDoS attack, an attacker uses a network of hijacked computers, sometimes called a botnet, to flood the server with junk traffic, overwhelming it with fake requests. The goal isn't to steal data or break in, but to overwhelm and shut down the service so that real users can't access it, causing frustration and loss. The distributed part means the attack comes from thousands of computers all over the world, making it nearly impossible to block by just stopping one source. Each request looks normal to the server, but the sheer volume is what crashes the system, leaving it unable to respond to anyone. So, when you hear that a big website is suddenly down or unavailable, a DDoS attack is often the culprit behind the chaos. The result? Real users are denied access, businesses lose money, and trust in the service can take a hit. It's a blunt, disruptive tool, brutally effective at knocking things offline and causing widespread disruption in a short amount of time. Next, let's see the different ways attackers pull this off and how organizations try to defend against these relentless digital floods. DDoS attacks come in three main flavors, each with its own unique way of causing chaos and disruption in the digital world. Each type of attack targets a different weakness in the system, exploiting vulnerabilities that can bring even the most robust networks to their knees. First, volume-based attacks. These are the most straightforward, relying on sheer force. They flood the target's internet connection with massive amounts of traffic. Imagine trying to pour an entire swimming pool through a garden hose. The result? The connection gets overwhelmed and legitimate users can't get through. A classic example is the UDP flood, which bombards servers with junk data, clogging up bandwidth and resources until the system grinds to a halt. Second, protocol attacks. These are a bit sneakier. They exploit the very rules and procedures computers use to communicate. Think of it like endless prank calls that tie up your phone line, making it impossible for real calls to get through. A common example is the SYN flood, which fills up a server's connection table with half-finished handshakes, preventing legitimate connections from being established. Third, application layer attacks. These are the most sophisticated and deceptive. They mimic real users, but their goal is to overload the website's software. Imagine someone walking into your pizza shop and asking you to list every possible topping combination over and over until you can't keep up. A prime example is the HTTP flood, which forces servers to process complex, resource-intensive requests until they crash under the pressure. Volume attacks use brute force, overwhelming the system with sheer numbers. Protocol attacks, on the other hand, exploit the underlying connection rules, targeting the very foundation of how devices talk to each other, and application attacks go after the software itself, targeting the logic and processes that power websites and online services. Application attacks are especially tricky. They often use less bandwidth and blend in with normal traffic, making them incredibly hard to detect and block with traditional defenses. Each type of attack requires a different defense strategy, and organizations must be prepared to recognize and respond to all three. Attackers often mix and match these methods, combining them in creative ways for maximum chaos and confusion. The result? Servers buckle under the pressure, websites go dark, and real users are left locked out, unable to access the services they need. Understanding these three flavors of digital mayhem is absolutely key to building a strong, resilient defense against DDoS attacks. Whether it's flooding the network, exploiting connection protocols, or mimicking legitimate users, DDoS attacks are all about overwhelming the system in one way or another. The sophistication and complexity of these attacks keeps evolving, with new techniques emerging all the time. That's why defenders need to stay one step ahead, constantly adapting and improving their defenses to keep up with the latest threats. Next, let's see how attackers assemble the firepower needed for these massive attacks, and why it's rarely just one person behind the keyboard. In reality, DDoS attacks are often the work of entire networks of compromised computers, coordinated by cybercriminals working together. Attackers don't use just one computer, they build botnets, armies of infected devices, secretly controlled by malware. These zombie computers are recruited through phishing, malicious downloads, or exploiting outdated software. Owners rarely notice. Their devices quietly join the botnet. When the attacker gives the signal, thousands or millions of bots flood the target with traffic. The attack's power comes from this massive global distribution, making it nearly impossible to block. Everyday devices, PCs, smart TVs, even cameras can become unwitting soldiers in a digital war. DDoS isn't just a villain's tool. Ethical hackers study these attacks to build better defenses. White hat hackers use the same techniques as attackers, but in controlled, isolated labs. They learn to spot the signs of each attack type and practice defending against them. Training happens in safe, disconnected environments, never on real networks. The goal? Understand the offense to build a stronger defense. Using these skills outside a lab is illegal and causes real harm. Ethical hacking is about thinking like an attacker to protect systems. By mastering DDoS mechanics, defenders can outsmart the bad guys. Ethical hackers use powerful tools, always in a lab. LOIC demonstrates basic DDoS attacks by flooding a server with requests. APing3 lets analysts craft custom packets to test network defenses. LOIC shows how low and slow attacks can tie up web servers with minimal traffic. Wireshark acts as a network microscope, capturing and analyzing attack traffic in real time. Snort, an intrusion detection system, watches for suspicious patterns and alerts defenders. These tools help hackers understand, simulate, and defend against real-world DDoS threats. Used responsibly, they're essential for building resilient systems. Defending against DDoS attacks requires a combination of layered strategies and constant vigilance. Cyber threats are always evolving, so your defenses must adapt as well. Web application firewalls, or WAFs, act as a protective barrier by filtering out malicious requests before they ever reach your server, helping to prevent many common attacks. Rate limiting restricts how many requests each user or device can make in a given time, blocking suspicious spikes and reducing the risk of overwhelming your systems. Intrusion detection and prevention systems, known as IDS and IPS, monitor network traffic, alert you to threats, and can even automatically block attacks in real time. Cloud-based DDoS mitigation services absorb and filter massive attacks, letting only real users through and keeping your online presence available. No single solution is enough. Combining these defenses is key to building a resilient security posture that can withstand sophisticated threats. Regular updates and strong security practices help keep your devices from joining botnets and ensure vulnerabilities are patched before attackers can exploit them. The best defense is proactive, not reactive. Planning ahead and assessing risks regularly makes a big difference. Both companies and individuals play a crucial role in keeping the internet safe for everyone, from the workplace to your home. With the right tools, up-to-date knowledge, and a commitment to security, you can withstand even the biggest digital storms and help protect the online world. DDoS attacks affect everyone, not just big companies. When services go down, it impacts your daily life. Understanding these threats makes you a smarter, safer internet user. Keeping your devices secure helps prevent them from becoming part of a botnet. Every secure device strengthens the whole internet. Knowledge replaces fear with understanding and empowers you to ask better questions about online security. The battle between attackers and defenders shapes our digital world. Stay curious, stay safe, and remember, you can understand and help protect the internet.